You are listening to Keep Canada Weird, a weekly weird news roundup by the Nighttime Podcast.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the weekly Keep Canada Weird discussion series. If you're new here in Keep Canada Weird, my pal Aaron Airport and I seek out and explore some of the more offbeat Canadian news stories from the past week. In tonight's episode, our Christmas special, which we recorded on the evening of December 18th, 2022, Aaron and I squeezed down some of Canada's strangest chimneys. Our discussion features the baiting of porch pirates, a Lego tree, the nutcracker lady, and tons of Santa. So let's get into it. Festive Aaron Airport. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I am festive.
On this bright Nova Scotian Christmas day.
Yeah. It's kind of a typical maritime Nova Scotia weather for the holidays right now. It's windy and rainy. That's kind of what I'm used to for these, Cape Breton Christmases.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like Christmas time, they often incorporate all these images of like snowfalls and, this house is like blanketed in snow and they got a fire going. But yeah, that's generally not the way it works here. That's more of like a January, February thing.
Yeah. It's, there's the odd time that we'll have a white Christmas, but it's not that often.
We could probably, I'm 40 something and I could probably count on one hand how many times it snowed on Christmas.
When I was a kid, it was more common maybe because we'll get snowfalls in December, but it just doesn't stick around long enough.
Mm-hmm. This is our Christmas special, our holiday special, regardless of which wintertime holiday you celebrate. We'll be celebrating it with you tonight. We're recording this on let's pretend it's snowing, on the snowy evening of December 18th. How excited are you for the festivities over the next few weeks?
Oh, I'm excited. It's always a fun time. I don't have too much planned, just to see friends and family over the next little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm off from work until the new year, so just looking forward to relaxing and keeping Canada weird at the same time.
Yeah. Have you been to any shops? Have you been to a mall? Like today I had to run to the dollar store to get something to wrap a gift in, and it was just bonkers.
Oh, really?
I waited probably 25 minutes to spend $2 on a paper bag.
Oh, okay.
Like an idiot.
Yeah. Paper bags cost money these days. That's the reality we live in. Mm-hmm. I go to the grocery store. It's like 50 cents or something for a bag.
Yeah, it's what the heck.
Yeah, where are we?
But it's the festivities are coming. I want to ask you one question now. I think this may be slightly controversial. There's this whole thing about like Christmas, Xmas, keep Christ in Christmas, Santa versus Jesus. Where do you stand in all this? Like, what is Christmas to you?
What is it to me? It's
religiously and spiritually.
Religiously, it means little to nothing to me. I have nothing against Jesus, but I certainly, I don't celebrate Christmas to celebrate his birth. But at the same time, Christmas to me is just different now. It's just a time to hang out with family and friends. That's all it really means to me.
Just like almost like an extended Thanksgiving, maybe.
Yeah. It's just a time to hang out and have fun. But I mean, I don't have kids, so I don't have that aspect of it. If I had kids, it would be different. You do. So you have a whole other realm of Christmas that is very exciting for a parent to see their kids open gifts on Christmas Day and get excited for Santa Claus. And I just have the cat, so he doesn't understand.
Do you get him something though? Treats?
Oh yeah, he'll get something.
Okay, he's spoiled.
He enjoys the tree.
But even the like having kids doesn't change kind of what it means. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head a bit with your idea of it's being about like spending time with people and stuff. Because even with my kids at Christmas, like you hype up the Santa thing because that just adds excitement. But Christmas for me is really like an awesome few days with my kids. Everything's closed, so we're just like forced to be together. and you pile on the joy with the wonders of gift giving. So yeah, but as far as like the religious and spiritual side of it, I think I'm very I don't recall the last time I've ever gone to like church on Christmas or something, but I certainly talk about Santa Claus with
Yeah,
my
yeah.
kids.
I used to enjoy going to Christmas Eve Mass when I was younger because the music was good. Everybody
What?
was. Calm down. I'm allowed to like things.
The music was good.
Yeah, just the choirs singing and there was the harmony. It was
Okay.
always, and the energy was always really cool. Everybody, it was Christmas Eve. We would always go to my aunt's afterwards for food and to open gifts from cousins and
Mm,
uncles, and it
mm.
was always very exciting. Christmas Eve I always liked better than Christmas Day.
Yeah, yeah. The anticipation, the build
Because
up,
it's a
and
looking
it just
forward to, like, when Christmas Day came, like, running out to the living room to see the presents from Santa under the tree was always exciting, and then the opening. But then, like, after that, it's kind of the dust settles. The rest of the day is really just kind of hanging out. But Christmas Eve is like just the tension in the air. It's
yeah, yeah. Like I
very
agree with you on
palpable.
that. I find, and I kind of can reflect it. What I see happening with my kids, I can kind of extrapolate and better understand my Christmas mornings as a kid. But I find with my kids is if you give them one present, they would like open it and play with it. But if you give them 10 presents, they open them all and they don't even know where to start and they get no like kind
Yeah.
of play out of it. And so we do this thing, and I think a lot of families do this. On Christmas Eve, my kids are allowed to open one
One
gift.
the one gift thing. We open gifts at my aunt's place that are the gifts from my aunts and my uncles and my cousins. So we did that gift opening there.
Mm.
So we didn't open a gift when we got back home. Like, that was, the rest was saved. We always had to wait until my dad had the turkey stuffed in the oven and my mom had her coffee. So there was always we'd wake up super early because we were really excited. But then we'd have to sit there in front of the tree and wait and be like,
Oh
no, we
my
can't stop
gosh,
yet. Your father still had to stop the turkey, like, and
that's cruel.
and we'd just sit there and he's working away in the kitchen trying to get the
Oh,
turkey in the oven.
with a big dead bird, just like a maniac.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work prepping a turkey. So
Yeah, but why does
uh,
everyone have to wait for that?
I don't know why that happened that
Yeah,
way,
when
but it
I'm
just
just trying
always
to.
did.
Mm, when
So
it,
I don't know.
yeah,
It is what it is.
it is what it is. Well, let's get into it. The
Before we
spirit.
start, someone in the chat's wondering what's on my sweater.
Oh, we got to show them.
So anyway, it says, "Merry Christmas, you filthy
Yeah.
animals."
Is that Merry Christmas Filthy? Is that
That's
from Home
from
Alone?
Home Alone. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yes, that's right. We actually were watching that today. My youngest son was watching Home Alone for the about
Yeah.
50th time. Yeah. Uh, since we're on the topic, do you have a favorite Christmas movie or special that you
Uh,
revisit year after year?
I'd say it's always going to be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is a favorite. I really
Yeah.
like Scrooge, the Bill Murray movie.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah, those two,
Dude.
I'd say.
Yeah. Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is one I've watched most Christmases. I love that movie. I don't know why the Garfield Christmas I adore.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a long time, though.
I watch that every year, and the Charlie Brown Christmas I really dig. Uh, and then there's a Mickey Mouse,
Oh yeah, they do a Christmas Carol
Scroogey,
version
yeah,
of
Mickey
Mickey
Mouse
Mouse
Christmas.
with all the Mickey
Yeah,
Mouse characters. Yeah,
those would be the ones that, like, since I was a kid to
yeah,
this day, I still watch them most
yeah.
Christmases.
And then there's the claymation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and
Oh, I find that creepy.
well, I'm not allowed to like Christmas Eve Mass, and you're have to like Rudolph. That's
Okay,
the
deal.
scene we're in. But there's also the other claymation one, the story of Santa Claus. I think it's called what's the name of it? It tells, like, in claymation characters, the story of how Santa Claus started. Have
Oh,
you
I
ever
thought I
seen
should
that
watch
one?
that. No, because I have no idea how Santa started or what like the origin story is.
I don't know if this is like the truest origin story, but it gives you an origin story of how
Okay,
Kringle kind of started delivering presents to
okay,
all the girls and boys all over the world.
okay. Well, I'll have to look it up. What about Gremlins? Great Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's one of those movies that I don't quite associate with Christmas, although I know it takes place during Christmas and
it all revolves around a Christmas present because like the father wants to get
yeah.
his son like a great present, and he ends up getting the Mogwai.
Yeah, yeah. When I rewatched Gremlins, I wasn't quite as taken with it when I rewatched it a few years ago. It didn't hold up for me.
What a damn shame.
I'm sorry. But, you want the truth here. People come here for the truth, and that's what we're giving to them.
The Queen is blowing up my phone. We got to get into this.
Okay.
We have to keep Canada weird, regardless of what time of year it is and what we want to say about it. We got to do it. And we got a full slate to get through. And, of course, given the time of year, it's Christmas themed. For this week's Keep Canada Weird, we'll be learning about how porch pirates are being baited in Canada. We're going to talk about a Lego tree, the nutcracker lady, which isn't as painful as it sounds, and tons of Santa.
Tons of Santa. Is that a weight joke?
No, more so the number.
The number of...
like tons of them.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's bad grammar. I'll hear from the Queen about that if so. Let's get into it here. I want to start with porch pirates. It's a very topical thing. It's very modern, current. The pandemic has led to even more people using Amazon and these kind of like deliver it and leave the package at your door kind of services. That's just a common thing now. Of course, bad people, evildoers, people with ill intentions are looking for packages on doorsteps as a way to, I don't know, grab something and resell it, I suppose. Have you ever been victimized? Have you ever had something stolen from your doorstep?
No, because I think anything I've ordered off of Amazon, whoever stole it would be very disappointed.
Okay, an adapter? What the? That kind of thing.
Another cat toothbrush? Oh.
I was I was on the phone with Randy, our mutual friend, Randy Stonewall, the other day, and he had a delivery. And what he had bought from Amazon, I didn't know you could do this, was just this massive thing of paper towels. So this guy was like coming up with a step with like a Costco-sized paper towel thing.
Yeah. Randy will do a lot of his just general shopping on Amazon and just have it delivered.
Wow, that's one way to live. But regardless, I've never been victimized by it. I've never had anything stolen. I have a neighbor who is very watchful, and I also have like a video doorbell. So I'll see a package getting delivered. I'll see the guy come and drop it off, and then I'll usually see within like 25 minutes or something, my neighbor will come and take it into his house and email me to let me know it's there and it's safe. So I guess that's what protects me. But not everyone's...
I have a lot of my packages delivered to work. Depends on the package. If it's something that I'm a little concerned about being stolen, I will have it delivered to my work instead.
Okay, well, that's a good way to do it. But you only need to look on the internet and you will find videos of porch pirates, which are people who are just grabbing stuff off a step and running and hoping for the best, I assume. It's a common problem from coast to coast in Canada. It's being addressed as in a unique way in British Columbia. Here's what's going on.
Unfortunately, it is the season for this too. And the more we shop online, the worse it gets. Everywhere. So in this time of giving, New Westminster Police will be leaving gifts of their own for would-be thieves who can't resist temptation.
They could be a bubble mailer. They could be an envelope. They could be a big cardboard box.
The idea? Pop them all over town, especially in areas where porch theft happens a lot. And make them look like the real McCoy, with shipping labels, and in different shapes, weights, and sizes. Something like this.
They look like the real thing because they are the real thing. We want this bait package program to be successful, and for that to happen, all of these packages need to look real, they need to feel real.
So real when the crook is duped and swipes the goods, technology inside will help police track down and identify the thief. Now, New Westminster Police can't tell us exactly how it works, but similar programs in the U.S. use GPS technology.
Basically, the package will move, they'll get an alert, The package will have a ping. They will tell us the direction.
Police will work with past porch pirate victims, hoping crooks won't know it's really a Pandora's box.
Do not do it.
I think this is a clever way to address the issue. This is a way they could catch some people, but I think most effective is just having this piece on the news to make people second guess it.
Yeah, getting the word out that, you never know when a package could be tampered with in that way. I saw a TikTok, I think it was, I don't know, yesterday maybe. And it was kind of someone who was having their packages stolen repeatedly off of their doorsteps, had taken matters into their own hands, and they put like things in it, like a camera in it, and then they put like a stink bomb in it, and then they put like other things, just to kind of play around with these people. But you could also put like one of those Apple tags, air tags in there too, if you wanted to trace the package back.
What the new Westminster police seem to be doing is something like that, where they can follow where these packages are going. I guess more effective if it's some kind of organized group that are taking the packages, a bunch of them, to one centralized place and doing stuff with them. But what I think is I don't know about most of these, but I bet you a lot of them are just like crimes of opportunity, where it's just someone walking by and sees the package and says, I'm just going to grab that.
Yeah. We covered a story one time about some kind of an organized ring of lawn furniture thieves, that were loading up trucks with lawn furniture.
Yeah, and that was something different. That was clearly an organized thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some organized groups that are doing porch pirating, but I would say overall, like if you've been a victim of it, most likely it was just someone walking by and saw the package and thought, it could be a laptop in here.
I'm sure it's a mixture. And, maybe some teenagers walking down the street, seeing a big Amazon box on somebody's porch, no cars in the driveway. But again, like I kind of mentioned this when we talked about the thieves that were stealing the lawn furniture. It's like with so many doorbell cameras and how much more common security cameras now are with Ring and all these companies that have made it so easy for people to just put up their own security cameras and access it from their phone. I just think that this industry or this sector within crime should be done by now, because it's so easy to get caught and videotaped, and even though sometimes the footage is a little too grainy to make an identification.
Yeah.
But still, now with people doing this with packages plus the cameras, I don't know. Like if I were in that realm of stealing, if that was my main source of income as a thief, I'd be looking for other things to steal, like people's identities.
Oh, a victimless crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
No way. Don't encourage that. That's a serious crime.
Okay, I won't.
I don't know. I think the idea of something getting stolen off your step, it's like you would feel just as bad as having like your car broken into or something. It's just this idea of, I don't know, just someone messing with you that screws with people. I had someone break in my car years ago. I talk about it all the time. I'm not over it yet.
We're all so tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And I think I'd feel the same if someone stole something off my step, especially if I had a video of it on my doorbell. If the package was just missing, I would probably just fight it out with Amazon and ended up getting them to replace it or something. Can only imagine. But to see the video of just like someone grabbing it and running, that'd be so upsetting.
It is creepy. Yeah, it gives you an uneasy feeling for sure. And I've had my car, messed with over the years. And it is weird when I would get into the car in the morning and it was like, oh God, someone's been in here. My glove box is open. Things have been rifled through. Did they fart in here while they were sitting in my car? Like, am I smelling them right now?
On that note, let's move on. I want to back up a little bit. We've gone through the first story, and that was just like the queen.
Yeah, she was really pushing to have us start. So,
but I do want to step back. I have two pieces of listener mail that I want to address. The first is a voice memo. This is from Leanne.
Hi, guys. I was just listening to your episode talking about the bear coming in through the doggy door. and it reminded me of a little story that we have in my family. My grandparents lived in Sudbury on like a pretty rural part of land, like a little farmland on a lake. And there was tons of critters always crawling around. And one year we were watching a movie in the living room and we heard the screen door open. And they actually used to own a black cat named Shadow, and she would let herself in and out. She was able to open the screen door. So when we heard that noise, we were like, oh, the cat's home. Like, it's fine. And then my sister shot up and she was like, the cat's fucking dead. The cat had died a year prior. And when we went into the kitchen to investigate, there was a family of raccoons helping themselves to some snacks. Anyways, love the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing, and just thought I'd share.
Thank you for the potty mouth, Leanne, and the
You should have
heartwarming
had
story.
a disclaimer at the start of your voicemail. Some may find this language offensive.
Yeah, like my son, who luckily is not sitting in with us tonight.
No,
I
no.
expected something like this to happen sooner than later.
Sooner than later. Yeah, I don't know what the Queen's going to think about it, but we'll find out. But I feel like I've heard more about raccoons. Well, we talk about animals a lot on this show, and not by design.
I know. I never expected that. I just think maybe
no.
it's the way I don't know, something about Canada.
Well,
so many of
it's,
the news stories that are weird are animal related.
Yeah. Like, especially in the past month or two, it's been a lot of animal stories, and a lot of them have focused on raccoons, and not even just on this show, but just in general. People are talking about raccoon problems a lot. I think the population is increasing, and it's causing a lot of issues within our urban centers.
And they're going in Leanne's house.
Maybe if Leanne cleaned up her language a little bit, then the raccoons wouldn't punish her so much by eating her Fudgios.
Okay, when I heard that part of the story where she's like, we heard the door open and then my sister says, like, the cat is effing dead. I was expecting her to say, like, and it was a coyote with the cat in its mouth, like, standing there, like, as
when
if the
I
cat
first heard
died
it too,
right now.
I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a morbid story that she's telling us.
She meant, like, the cat died, like, long ago.
Yeah, it's
of
a
natural
classic
causes.
case of, it's been dead for 10 years.
Here's the second piece of mail. This one is more for the viewing audience because it's actually a physical card. I checked my P.O. box, and if people want to send us stuff, the address is on my website, nighttimepodcast.com. Before I show you the cover, I will read you what it says. It says, Jordan and Aaron, greetings from Hamilton. I saw this card and thought of you both. Cheers, Sandy, an avid follower of Nighttime. Here's what's on the cover of the card.
Oh my God, burn it.
So it's like a Tim Hortons coffee cup, 2 sugar packets or tea bags, and 2 coffee creamers, all kind of drawn as a cute little family walking together.
Or it's a parade.
I
I find it offensive. I find it humiliating, actually, that,
Or is it a
I'm
threat?
forced to be surprised by this. It's someone else who works for Tim Hortons is just trying to rub it in our face that they're winning and we're losing. We haven't shut them down yet. This is just vintage Tim Hortons behavior.
Yeah, it's a form of harassment. In fact, I've also been getting harassed by people sending what I've come to dub as stick pics. And what that is photos of, I'm sure I've deleted them out of anger. I had a few screenshots of them. I've been getting a lot of the people sending me photos of that baloney penis.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Big Stick.
Stick pics. They've just been sending them, DMing them to me.
Really? Mr. Big Stick sliding into your DMs.
Yeah, not cool.
What a creep.
Let's move on to the next story here. Legos are a big thing in my house. My oldest son simply adores them. We've gotten into them as like a duo, the two of us kind of taking on a complicated set over the period of a couple days, sometimes a week, building the thing. We've done a Star Wars one that took us, it was the Millennium Falcon. It took us about 2 weeks to do it.
Oh, wow, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it was 10,000 pieces or something. It was crazy. We also did a Ferris wheel that was, I
I
think,
thought you were going to say
6,000
Ferris
pieces.
Bueller.
No, that would
We
be
also did
life
a
size.
Ferris Bueller. Yeah.
Legos, that's a big thing. Is that mean anything to you? Are you a collector? Did you ever get into them as a kid?
No, I lightly played with them as a child, but Legos weren't really my thing.
You got to be organized, and they're
Yeah.
expensive. And if you're the kind of person you just want to rip open the box and get into it, obviously Legos aren't for you.
Yeah, I
It's a
didn't have
mix.
the patience for them.
Yeah, it's really a mix between a puzzle and a figurine or ornament or something, rather than a toy, because it's, the putting it together is the fun, of course. But a Canadian man has morphed a love for Lego with a love for Christmas. Take a look at this.
Upon first glance, you might not notice anything different about this Christmas tree, but look closer and you see this life-sized tree is built with bricks.
I'm really partial to the snowman head. I don't know why.
James Hinchliffe made this. Every branch, every decoration, handcrafted with Lego.
Started thinking about it last year at Christmas.
He said, next year I'm going to build our Christmas tree out of Lego. And I just kind of looked at him and went, yeah, okay.
As you might guess, Lego doesn't sell Christmas tree sets as large as this. This is about as close as it comes.
It's a little bit smaller, not as many pieces. A paltry 784.
James used other sets to come up with his own version, one he and his wife could actually put gifts under.
The whole tree with decorations is right around 20,000 pieces.
Once I saw those cases of green bricks arriving, I knew there was no turning back.
James started building in January. This not his first foray into Lego building.
Lego Bat Cave, I guess you'd call it.
He has an entire room dedicated to it, a hobby he took up while undergoing cancer treatments about 10 years ago.
So I was off work for a year pretty much, and looking for something to occupy my time. I just dug into the bins of Lego of the kids that have just been sitting downstairs, and I thought, well, I got to assemble all these sets again, and it just kept going from there.
He's been cancer-free for about 8 years, but his passion for Lego has only grown.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. And, it's something that, you kind of want everybody to see to appreciate it.
Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Okay, I got a real question for this guy.
What is your real question?
Okay, first off, I want to say congratulations on being cancer-free for 8 years. Mm-hmm. That's a tough thing to go through, and want to certainly tip the Keep Canada Weird hat to this man for
survivor,
for surviving. So awesome. Now on to my thoughts onto this project.
So your like celebration of surviving cancer has a butt at the end of it.
Well, it's. I just wanted to say that because it's, that's
But-
no matter what my thoughts are on the project.
Okay, because we're gonna have differing opinions on this one. I can see it now. Go ahead.
Well, no, you don't even know what I'm going to say. So
I
why
can
don't you
see
just
it. I
why
can
don't you
see your
just
aura.
calm down and
Okay.
let me say it.
Let me take a drink of my pop.
Take
Go
a
ahead.
drink out of your stupid straw and let's move on with what I think. Obviously, the tree looks awesome. That's my first thought. It looks, from a distance, it looks like a legit tree. Even probably from the window, you can't tell it's a Lego tree. Like if you're walking down the street and the tree is displayed in the window, you probably can't tell at all that it's made out of Legos until you get closer. So he did a phenomenal job on it. But I'm just trying to wrap my mind around the motivation of, because when Christmas is over, I want nothing to do with Christmas up until December of the following year. It's just, I don't know, to be motivated to start in January, to start building this tree. That's a whole year you're working on this, right? Mm-hmm. And when it's I support the hobby of Lego building and building something really cool, but why don't you build something, if you're going to spend a whole year building something, build something that you can have up all year round.
Okay, I see your point. Yeah.
So
because now he has to
it's
take
just
it
the
apart.
fact that why he chose, I get it's a cool idea to build the Christmas tree, out of Legos, but you're spending all year on this and you're ordering in so much, specific items to do it.
And and buying the individual blocks, like if you kind of custom order, you can order from Lego sizes and shapes and colors and all this, but they're expensive. I had to order a
and
few
then you got to
before.
store the thing somewhere until next year. That's going to take up a lot of real estate.
Yeah, and we see in this video, in the news clip there, is he had like a separate room that's like his studio where he probably had it. He had all these drawers and cabinets where everything is probably sorted by color or size or something. So this is his thing.
This is his thing, but it's just because he chose a Christmas tree as a project of this size, it just creates a lot of complications logistically. With, again, in the heat of the summer, how are you motivated to work on this Lego Christmas tree when, you could build something really cool at a Legos and spend all that time. And then once it's built, you can leave it up and you never have to take it down.
Yeah, I see your point in the timeliness of it.
And again, if Christmas is his thing, like if it's Christmas number 1, Legos number 2, then his wife, then I understand how he could possibly have the motivation, because there are some people who think about Christmas all year round.
Oh yeah,
And
there's lots of them. We're going to hear about more of them tonight.
And it's arguably
Several
a
more.
sickness, but it's something that people are obsessed over to the point where in the middle of the summer, in the heat of the summer, they're Christmas shopping, they're thinking and planning Christmas. They're like, their mind is just locked on it. And there's people who collect Christmas things all year round, and then people who do that, but I just don't know. And especially afterwards, it's like you enjoy it for the couple of weeks the tree is up, and then what do you do with it without shattering it?
Yeah, well, he takes it apart, but I bet you a lot of the time when it took him a year to build it or whatever, a lot of that was probably solving the issues and the problems he was running into as he was building. Next year, if he chooses to do this every year, he's already solved the riddle of how to build it. So next year, I would imagine it's going to take him
and
a
maybe
lot
it can
less
be
time.
taken apart in pieces. Like maybe he's done gluing with it, because I know people who will make Lego sculptures will use, there's an adhesive I think you can buy specifically for Legos that I thought I saw in a documentary one time. So I'm going based off of purely my recall memory there, but
I understand your concerns with the amount of
they're
time.
strictly
for
just
something.
concerns. I commend the efforts and the abilities of this man to be able to construct such a tree out of Legos. It's a great job. It's just I do have concerns.
I think it's great. It's special. It's unique. It's the end result of a lot of hard work and dedication, certainly. There's also the other story that goes along with it. He's a survivor of cancer who got into Lego building during his treatment. And certainly when you come out of a battle like that against an illness like that, you have a different perception of life. And I feel like I can't speak. I'm not a survivor myself, but have many family and friends who have been affected by that sickness. And in the end, I think you probably come out of it at the other end with a little more like, I'm just going to do what the heck I want.
And maybe
F
because
everyone else.
you're right, his perspective on life is so different now
Yeah,
he's like, I'd enjoy building it all over again, and maybe building a different style of tree every year. And there's some people that would probably really enjoy smashing that tree.
That would be amazing. Imagine.
Yeah, imagine.
I know my
I
kids
spent
would.
all year building this tree, and then we get to smash it.
He could give pellet guns to his family, or
that's
maybe
dangerous though. No.
Nerf
You'll
guns.
shoot
Nerf
your
guns.
eye out. To quote a Christmas movie.
Well, let's get into the next one here. If you have these kind of concerns about a Lego tree, I'm terrified to hear your reaction to the nutcracker lady of Saskatchewan. Here's what she's up to. Here's her story.
A woman in Milestone is hoping to help people get into the Christmas spirit by sharing her nutcracker collection. Now, it's taken her quite some time to build up, but she's accumulated more than 600 in total. Stephanie Davis takes us on an inside look.
I'm the nutcracker lady, and that's how I'll be remembered. I didn't used to like nutcrackers at all, and then I think it was one day I was in the store and I thought they looked pretty neat, so I just started collecting them. My husband bought me a lot of them, my kids bought me lots. People that were cleaning out their places, they come across the odd one, they gave to me, and just continued and continued. These were some of my original ones that I first got. I try to keep them in themes. Back here is mostly my sports ones. I have a snowboarder, and I wrote on it Mark McMorris, so I'm hoping one day to meet him and get him to sign it. I have some that are from Graceland, that is Elvis Presley. This area is different jobs people are doing. There's a fireman, there's a plumber. You even gotta have somebody who's golfing, and you gotta relax. And this happened to be the last one that my husband bought me.
It's our first year without our dad because he passed away, so it's a little different this year. He would always say we have no more room left in the house, but then he'd give me money to go buy Mom some more nutcrackers. So it's always going to be a special thing.
Down my hallway, some of these are the first ones I ever got. And, well, you gotta have a hippie. If anybody comes to my house to sleep, they're gonna sleep with the nutcrackers too.
And I was joking around. I was like, well, I don't know what nutcrackers to get you. So I said jokingly, let's get matching tattoos. Little did I know she would say yes.
And they do bring joy to me just to see the different ones. Because to tell you the truth, even at the end when they know it's my time, there's got to be a nutcracker on my headstone.
Of course there was an Elvis nutcracker thrown in there.
Yeah, well, there was an Elvis everything. Elvis was
Yeah.
probably the king of merchandising.
Second to maybe Kiss.
I don't know. That's an interesting battle. I'd like to see some statistics on.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But what do you think of this? My thoughts are, it reminds me of this movie, a horror movie called Dolls, where this car breaks down in the middle of nowhere, and the people in the car go to the only house in sight. The family invites them in on the stormy night, and they're going to get them home in the morning, kind of thing. And the home is filled with dolls. They collect dolls, but late at night, it turns out all the dolls come to life and kill everybody. Basically, this nutcracker lady, even her voice, she's a little, just because being old, she's a little creepy.
Not just
they had
that
creepy music in the background.
That's what I was.
Everywhere.
That's what I was going to say. Was the music like?
Yeah, was that Halloween
Who chose
music or
that
Christmas
music? It just was so creepy. Do. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And just the look at to have a room just filled with these nutcrackers. It was a little creepy. I get everyone's into collecting something. I'm not gonna shame her for that, kink shame her for that, but it's
kink shame.
just something. It's something interesting. And much like with the Lego guy, what do you do the rest of the year? You just fill your house with this stuff.
She
Does
puts
have a
them
storage
away,
locker?
and she puts them in a room, and just probably has one room loaded with nutcrackers. I'm wondering, does she ever use them to actually crack nuts?
I don't think have you ever seen a nutcracker that was built solid enough that you could use its mouth to crack a nut? I've never seen one. I can't imagine.
No, I've always used those silver handheld ones.
Yeah, Schnapp.
Yeah.
Those things. Yeah, but my mom also. I should mention my mom collects nutcrackers. She has a whole bunch of them, and
you should have got her on the show to try to explain why.
Yeah, well, I should, but
because I can't really wrap my mind. I support it. Whatever floats your boat. You want to own thousands of nutcrackers. Go for it.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
My son just walked in. Bud, your hair's wet. You just get out of the bath or something?
Yeah. A shower, actually.
Oh, wow. You're grown up. I want to say I'm glad you're just walking in now. We got a voice memo earlier from a listener. You wouldn't believe the word she said.
What?
Take a guess. Starts with a F. Yeah.
Oh.
So glad you missed it.
Yeah.
Glad to have you, bud. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, the things are weird. Filling your home with multiple of any one item is kind of creepy.
Yeah, especially like you say, hearkening back to the movie The Dolls that you talked about. And obviously, you know, Chucky always added to that fear of doll type toys coming to life while you're asleep and wreaking havoc around your house, and violence and murder and all that stuff. So
there's this scene in the movie Dolls where one of the dolls gets a knife. It's actually a small scalpel, and he walks up behind someone and he cuts the, you know, like behind your above your heel,
like the Achilles tendon or whatever.
Yeah, he just like cuts it. It's awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's asking for it.
I think people who are older, who didn't grow up through the 80s, the horror movies of the 80s and the early 90s, don't have the more dark and disturbing viewpoint of dolls like these that we do. So I think it's a generational thing.
We also grew up at a time when Ghostbusters was a very popular movie. You had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which was this giant blown up guy. I wonder if that is going to paint your opinion of this next story. In Ontario, there's a small community that's now known as Kringlewood, or at least becomes known as Kringlewood every Christmas. Let's see what you think of this.
We're in Kringlewood or Jinglewood? Or
Kringlewood. Yeah, it's Kringlewood on Englewood.
And what is this thing?
I think it started, 8 or 9 years ago. One person put them up, and then their neighbor did. I remember it was just down the street here. And then there were like 3 or 4. And then, wasn't it Canadian Tire who came and decided, hey, we'll help you guys out if you, everybody puts one up.
And then they ran out. And when they ran out, everybody said, well, then I guess we'll have to go buy them. And they did.
On your house, and I said, it's all about inflation, is it? This year? Or has it been for the past couple of years?
That's a great line.
I mean, Christmas is everybody's worried about inflation, but this is really a fun thing that people can sort of look at, right?
And everybody needs to have something to be joyous and happy about, and this brings a smile to everybody's face. Yeah.
With you, this isn't your first Santa. That's a bit of a secret right now, is it?
Yes. No, this is our third Santa. The first one was defective, I think. The second one, the wind caught it, and this is number 3.
And he's pretty good with the winds, is he?
He's great with the wind. His light is out, so we have spotlights on him.
Did you notice that Kringlewood, it seemed to have started as a sort of marketing thing by Canadian Tire, but that really fell over when they get to the point that this one lady had to like buy multiple ones because
she was
like
on her
failing
third
every
one.
Yeah, and
that one's light is out. Her third one, after the other 2 had issues, the light is out on that one.
Yeah, the first one was defective. The second one blew over. Yeah, now she's got the light out. I wouldn't buy one of those things, but for people listening who can't see the photo or see the video, I'll put a photo of it up on social media. But it's when you look down the street, Englewood, every house, every home has this giant Santa Claus that looks about, 2 stories high sort of thing. So you see the whole street is lined with them.
And it's the same Santa Claus like on every house.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't mean to be swinging our take on Christmas stories into a horror Halloween thing, but it's a little creepy to see 30 of them on each side of the street.
It's just weird that Canadian Tire is behind it. Like,
why would they get behind it?
If you guys keep putting up this giant Santa that we sell, we'll support you because it's advertising a product that we sell. So at the end of the day, it's more about Canadian Tire selling these Santa Clauses than it is about the joy of Christmas.
Yeah, well, as much as they want to sell it, again, you just get this lady on the news saying, like, this is my third one. I've only been doing this for 5 years. So buy one, but you're only getting a year out of it. And then
and for them, it's no problem because Canadian Tire is going to give them a new one or fix the one they have. Like they said, they'll support them and,
Support them by what? By carrying it each Christmas and selling more?
I don't know. I would like to see the contract that this neighborhood signed with Canadian Tire to see what the specifics are.
Yeah, it's the idea that you get something that big and then it dies at the end of a year. You use it for 2 weeks and you got to throw it away or something.
Do you
send
have
it to the landfill?
Do you have anything like you do for Halloween? Don't you? Some inflatable.
We have an inflatable pumpkin. But we don't have anything like that for Christmas. I have a big wreath I put outside my house, and I have one of those lights that show it like kind of sprays like an animated green and red dot matrix.
Yeah, they've
on the
become
front of my
very
house.
popular over the past number of years because it's kind of an easy way to light up your house, essentially.
Yeah, I like that. I'm definitely like, I'm scared of heights. There's no way I'm getting on my roof like my dad used to and stringing Christmas lights around my house. This for me, like that LED matrix thing is an easy way to do it. I'm not crazy about the inflatables. My wife loves them.
I don't like
she
them
likes
either.
the idea of it.
No.
I just, for me,
I like the
guess I
old
see
plastic reindeer and, the kind of traditional ones
like
from
a
the 80s that you'd
like
see.
a styrofoam Santa Claus bust that's been like spray painted. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think when I see an inflatable, the idea of spending a couple $100 on that, I just think like some kid's just gonna walk by here and kick this thing over. I'm gonna be pissed off.
It's so easy to damage it too, I guess. Like, take a little switchblade or a prison shank and take Santa down. Like, you owe me for cigarettes, Santa.
Yeah, and people
This
have
is
the
my
motivation
yard.
to do it. I've been waiting in lineups all day. I just want to buy a sandwich, but everyone else is here, obsessed with Christmas buying. I try not to get negative about this, but a big thing for me is like wasting money, sending stuff to landfill, over packaging things with, single-use plastics. And I can't help but have that taint my enjoyment of some aspects of the holidays. And I don't like the idea of the retail exploitation of the holiday where so many gifts that we feel obligated to give other people are more so like this symbolic donation to Walmart on behalf of someone else. Like I'm giving, Aaron, I'm giving you something. I don't really know what you could possibly want. So here's this random overpriced piece of plastic that I got from Walmart that you're going to just donate to Goodwill or something. And just I try not to get obsessed by that stuff, but I think hearkening back to what you said at the beginning, the holidays are about spending time with the ones you love.
It's just about the time. Like over the years, I've cut out gift giving with family members, and I've never really exchanged with friends. We never really did that. So, but with a lot of family, like I've cut all that out, except for my nephews. Like I get my nephews something,
Yeah.
But other than that, most of my family I don't even exchange with anymore because it was becoming so pointless.
Yeah, I'm very much a believer in like kids get gifts.
Of course, yeah, that's part of the fun, and I enjoy giving my nephews gifts. But other than that, it's usually you're just roaming around trying to figure out what do I get this person. I have to get them something. It's a real pain.
Yeah, and it adds all this stress and inconvenience leading up to it that takes away ultimately from what I think is the most important part, which is just spending quality time with people. I kind of wish there was like instead of like buying gifts, maybe like you buy gifts for kids and for adults, you all shut your phones off and, just sit and talk or something some night.
Christmas is all about the 3 F's: food, family, and friends.
We just talked about gifts and how you don't want to exchange gifts. Do you have anything you're hoping to get this holiday other than time with friends and family? Is there anything on your list?
No, I don't have anything. Anything I want, like, I'm an adult. I just go and get it myself.
Yeah.
That's like when you're a kid, you don't have access to income. You don't have any money, or, like
that's right.
Like I don't want to get anything. Like there's things that I'll donate to at Christmas time, and and there's certain charitable things that I'll do, with except, in not buying family and stuff gifts. I will do some things. But yeah, there's nothing I want. I've got everything I need.
That's a nice way to live.
Yeah.
You're so fortunate. As am I. I have my family, my friends, most importantly, my children, and we're going to have a lovely holiday.
And
without
we have Keep
lineups.
Canada Weird.
Yeah.
The Queen.
And,
we have the Queen. What
thank
else
God.
could you want other than the Queen?
Yeah, and she has big stuff. I'm told that from a little elf that she has big stuff planned for us for 2023.
Oh,
There's
I can't wait.
a lot in the works. We're recording this the 18th of December. This will be our final recording of the year. We'll be back, however, on New Year's Day, January 1st, for our next new episode.
And that'll be moving into our year anniversary of doing this show.
Wow. When did we start?
I think we started sometime in January last year.
Wow.
Or this year, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize that much time has passed.
Yeah. I think it's coming up on a year in January that we've been doing this.
We'll find out and we'll celebrate our anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to maybe have a New Year's kind of episode. And then after that, a 1 year anniversary episode.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's start preparing for that. We got to go prepare.
Yeah.
Aaron, until next time.
Jordan, until next time.
Have a safe and happy holiday.
Merry Christmas!
I want to thank you for helping Aaron and I keep Canada weird, but let us also call for even further support in our mission. If something unusual happens in your town, let us know. And the best way to let us know is by sending a voice memo via nighttimepodcast.com/contact. We hope to hear from you. Now, before we wrap up the episode, I'm going to give some thanks. A big thanks to Aaron for sharing another evening with me and with you, the listeners of Nighttime. A shout out to the internet's favorite cult leader, Unicole, who supplies the intro and outro voiceovers. And lastly, but most importantly, a massive thank you to everyone who listens to Nighttime, as without your interest and your support, this show would be as pointless as it would be impossible. But that said, keeping this show alive is and has always been a Christmas miracle. So if you want to help take a bit of weight off Santa's back, please consider listening on the premium feed. And not only does the premium feed fund the creation of the show, it'll give you more of each topic than you'll find here on the free feed, as I'm adding exclusive content regularly and maintain a full back catalog of episodes only on the premium feed. So for about the price of a cup of coffee, put a gift under Nighttime's Christmas tree at patreon.com/nighttimepodcast. And on the topic of the premium feed, let me thank the newest subscribers. Laura, Debbie, and Gordy, thank you for your generous support. And for anyone else who'd like to support the show but can't do it by way of a premium feed subscription, you can give me a big hand by simply sharing this episode on social media and letting some like-minded friends know what we're doing here. If anyone out there has any story ideas, wants to give feedback on the show, or wants to just send in a voice memo to have aired and responded to on an upcoming episode, you can do all that and more at nighttimepodcast.com. We hope to hear from you. But until then, take care of each other, hug your loved ones tight, and let me know if you see anything weird.
The Nighttime Podcast is written, hosted, and produced by Jordan Bonaparte. Copyright Jordan Bonaparte.
Huh, out of breath. That was two flights up the stairs. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. Melakimikimaka is the right way to say Merry Christmas to you.
It's not the right way. It's Hawaii's way.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like it's in Hawaii. That's like a Hawaiian Christmas song.
Hawaii's way. Okay. I always thought it was the right way.
Because think about it, on a bright Hawaiian Christmas
Oh, yeah, it
day.
makes sense. You're right. It's just, when you hear a lyric one way in your head, that's the way it stays the rest of your life.